Before diving into this incredible story, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, every story has something to say, and you won't want to miss a single one. Rain fell gently on the Manhattan sidewalks, reflecting the lights of streetlights and shop windows. Emily Parker, a kind-hearted 26-year-old, was walking home after a long day working at a downtown cafe. Life wasn't easy. She worked hard to pay for her small apartment and send money back to her family in the Midwest. Despite everything, she maintained her smile and compassion, a rare light in a city often indifferent. As she crossed Fifth Avenue, her gaze was drawn to a figure sprawled on the sidewalk. A man appeared unconscious, his pale face barely visible beneath his soaked hood. Passers-by continued on their way, some staring out of curiosity, others pretending not to see. But Emily, driven by an irresistible impulse, quickly approached. "Sir, are you all right? Answer me," she shouted, gently shaking her shoulder. He didn't move. His pulse was weak, and his condition was worrying. She took out her phone and immediately called emergency services, giving precise instructions and alerting the paramedics as soon as they arrived. She didn't know him, but she felt that every second counted. As she held his hand in hers, she felt a shiver run through her, a mixture of fear and determination. In his eyes, she saw the glare of the neon lights, but also a humanity that few people took the time to see. She had no idea that this man, seemingly a simple beggar, was none other than James Anderson, a billionaire known for his discretion and secretive travels, who, on this particular day, had ventured into the city streets to escape his gilded but stifling world. When James finally opened his eyes, he met Emily's gaze. For the first time in a long time, he felt something that no amount of wealth or power could ever give him, the warmth of a truly selfless gesture. In that precise moment, without a word being spoken, their lives intertwined, sealed by a simple act of kindness. This simple yet heroic gesture would change their destinies forever. The ambulance screeched to a halt in front of St. Mary's Hospital. Emily ran alongside the stretcher-bearers, her heart pounding. She didn't know this man, but a strange responsibility weighed on her shoulders. "We need an escort, miss," shouted the nurse. "Yes, I found it. I saw it fall in the street," Emily replied, panting. They quickly took him to an emergency room, where doctors and nurses were bustling around James. Every movement seemed precise, mechanical, but Emily couldn't help but stare at the injured man's face. He had fine, elegant features despite his condition, and his pale complexion contrasted with the warmth of his dark eyes when they opened slightly. James murmured weakly, "You saved me?" Emily felt a shiver run down her spine. "Yes, don't move. Everything will be all right. You are safe now." He blinked, as if to make sure it wasn't a dream. His gaze fixed on hers, and in that silent moment, he felt an emotion he had never known, pure gratitude, without self-interest, without calculation. As a doctor approached to ask medical questions, James tried to speak again. I don't know how to thank you." Emily shook her head, smiling despite her anxiety. "No need for that. I only did what was necessary. That's all." But James couldn't forget her eyes, her courage, her humanity. For him, Emily was no longer just a stranger, she was the light in his world of concrete and superficiality. He felt his heart beat faster, and a strange, almost unreal feeling settled within him. Night was falling on Manhattan as Emily left the hospital, soaked by the rain but her heart filled with a strange hope. She didn't know that this simple gesture, this instinctive choice to help him, would change her life forever. And James, for his part, watched from his hospital room window, his gaze fixed on the figure disappearing into the night. Only one thought echoed in his mind. "I need to see her again." The days passed quickly. James recovered surprisingly fast, but every moment away from Emily seemed endless. He couldn't erase the image of her eyes, her rain-soaked smile, or the courage that emanated from her when she rescued him. Determined to see her again, James used his contacts to find the young woman. After some discreet searching, he discovered that Emily was still working at Café Magnolia, a small, cozy establishment on the corner of 7th Avenue. The next day, in the timid afternoon sun, James entered the cafe. Emily was behind the counter, serving a customer a coffee, oblivious to the outside world. When she looked up, their eyes met. Her heart leaped. You're the gentleman I helped?" she asked, surprised but curious. James stepped forward with a gentle smile. "Yes. I'm James. I just wanted to thank you, personally." Emily stared at him, realizing for the first time that the man she had helped was not just a passerby. Her gaze lingered on his for a moment, and she felt an unfamiliar warmth fill her heart. You are rich?" she stammered, hesitantly. James laughed softly, a sound that seemed to warm the entire cafe. "Yes, but I assure you, that's not why I'm here. I just wanted to see you again, and make sure you're okay." A pleasant silence settled in. Emily felt her pulse quicken. There was something in his smile, in the way he looked at her, that made her both uncomfortable and fascinated. I'm fine, thank you, really," she finally replied. James approached slightly, lowering his voice. "Emily. I know this may sound strange, but I believe I met you for a reason. Your gesture, your courage, it touched something in me that I had never felt before." Emily felt her cheeks flush. She didn't know what to say, but one thing was clear: a bond had just been formed between them, fragile yet powerful. At that moment, James knew his life had changed. It was no longer just a matter of gratitude. He had fallen in love at first sight, captivated by the generous soul of this young woman who, without knowing it, had just turned his life upside down. The cafe seemed to transform around them, as if the outside world had ceased to exist. And while Emily served another customer, James remained there, motionless, silently admiring the young woman who had first made his heart beat. In the days that followed, James couldn't stop thinking about Emily. Every detail of their meeting haunted him: her shy smile, her trembling yet determined hands, the warmth in her eyes. He decided to take a further step, but gently, so as not to frighten her. One afternoon, he returned to the Café Magnolia, this time with a simple bouquet of flowers, not too ostentatious, and a small smile that made her melt on the spot. "For you, to thank me again, if you accept," he said, handing her the flowers. Emily blushed, surprised and touched. Is this for me?" "Yes. And I'd also like to invite you to lunch, if you're free. Just a moment alone together." She hesitated, aware of his billionaire status and the enormous difference between their worlds. But something about him reassured her. She sensed that he wasn't trying to seduce her with money, but with who he truly was. "Okay, just lunch," she finally replied, a shy smile on her lips. They left for a small, discreet restaurant in Manhattan. Time seemed to stand still around them. Every word, every gesture, every laugh built an invisible bridge between their hearts. James questioned her about her life, her work, her dreams. "Do you like what you do?" Emily nodded, her eyes shining. "Yes. I like helping people. Even if it's not easy every day." James felt a profound admiration awaken within him. "It's incredible. You have a huge heart. I've never met anyone like you." Emily lowered her eyes, a little embarrassed. "You say that because you're nice." James shook his head, serious. "No. I'm saying it because it's true. And I want to get to know you, really." As the days went by, they met for short walks in Central Park, impromptu coffee breaks, and late-night conversations. Each moment strengthened their bond. Emily discovered a generous man, humble despite his wealth, and James discovered a pure soul, capable of seeing beyond appearances. One evening, while walking under the golden lights of the park, James stopped and gently took Emily's hand. "I know we come from different worlds, but I feel that you are special to me." Emily felt her heart pounding wildly. She didn't know what to say, but the warmth of his hand and the sincerity in his eyes were enough for her. At that moment, a deep bond was established between them. It was no longer just attraction or gratitude, it was the beginning of a sincere, fragile but powerful love, built on respect, trust, and tenderness. The weeks passed, and their connection deepened. James and Emily shared simple yet intense moments, sunset walks, heartfelt conversations, laughter that echoed through the city like melodies. Every moment brought their souls closer. One evening, James invited Emily to a small, elegant but intimate restaurant, far from the dazzling lights of Manhattan. After a warm dinner and sincere conversations, he took a deep breath. "Emily, I know what I'm about to say might sound rushed, but I want you to know something." Emily, curious and slightly nervous, watched him intently. "What is it, James?" He looked her straight in the eyes, his voice filled with sincerity. "I've fallen in love with you, deeply. And I want you to come live with me. You won't have to worry about money, hard work, or stressful days anymore. I just want to be by your side, to share my life with you." Emily felt her heart clench. She knew this choice could change her life forever, but she hesitated. She valued her independence, her dignity, the pride of making it on her own. "James, he's incredibly generous, and I don't know what to say," she stammered, her eyes shining. He gently took her hand. "You have nothing to say now. I just want you to know that I will respect your choice, whatever it may be. I want you to stay true to yourself." Emily felt her tears welling up. She understood that James' love was not conditional on wealth or a change in his life, but that it came from his sincere heart. "James, I want to stay myself, but I also want to be with you," she said finally, a shy but bright smile on her face. James burst with joy, embracing Emily tenderly. "Then we will find a way, together. No matter the difficulties, no matter the differences, as long as we are sincere with each other." That evening, under the soft lights of Manhattan, Emily and James sealed their promise. Their love, born from a simple act of kindness in the street, had grown into a powerful and deep bond, founded on respect, trust, and mutual admiration. The beggar Emily had saved was actually a billionaire, and the billionaire had fallen in love with her at first sight. But beyond wealth and social status, they had discovered something far more precious, a true, sincere, and indestructible love.